Alright, it's gonna be a late night hacking room today. We're gonna look at the one called ToolsRus. So this is a room that's gonna tackle different kind of tools such as Dirbuster, Hydra, Nmap, Nikto and Metasploit. And we will use all of them for this room. So that's kind of unique for a room using all the different kind of tools at once. I already did this room at some point in time, so I had to reset the progress, and I discovered I hadn't made any video for that room, so I figured why not. It's gonna be a fun room to redo again, refresh my mind and some of the different tools. It's been a while since I used Nikto, but you know, it's pretty standard, I guess. Anyway, if I have the IP address up, let's go ahead and copy paste it. Go to a terminal, start the casual Nmap scan. We're gonna do the normal standard script scan, you know, using standard scripts such as verifying, for example, if there is an FTP server with anonymous login possibilities, and we're gonna enumerate all the different kind of versions. We will scan for the most commonly used 1000 TCP ports, and we're gonna let this run for just a second. While doing that, we're gonna paste in the IP address in the browser, and we see we have a web page. We can go ahead and check out the source of the web page just casually. There's a picture and it's pretty standard, nothing going on there. Let's press F12, zoom in just a bit, check the memory, press F12, storage, check different, you know, tabs for did they create any such thing as cookies, nothing. Network tab, we will see the picture and the fav icon and also the root request for the file, the index file, and we see something like nothing that interesting really. So we're gonna stick to this and say that's pretty standard. So what we're gonna do now is go back and see if Nmap scan came back. It did come back with a standard installation of SSH. We have a Apache server on port 80. We kind of knew that already. And there is something on port 1234, which is a Tomcat server, Coyote JSP engine, right? And we have another one, Apache JServe protocol 1.3 on port 8009. Failed to get a valid something, right? So let's go ahead and try 1234. Just casually take the, we have right there, 1234. That is very normal web page for Apache Tomcat. And what was it? 8009? It was 8009. Let's try that. And it's kind of just hanging there doing nothing. So that's probably just a something that we cannot communicate directly with. Alright, so now that we have that, we can start to enumerate the Apache web server. It's going to be this one right there. So let's go ahead and copy paste the IP address and open new tab. We're gonna run Dirbuster, and we're just gonna use the normal, you know, directory list medium, nothing crazy there. Put in the IP address. It's gonna be a directory scan, so we're gonna try and brute force the directories and see what we're gonna find. While waiting on that, and usually and casually I say on easy rooms, I'm gonna do maximum of 10%. We've got a first one called guidelines. Let's copy paste it. Go to the browser /guidelines. So now that we did that, let's watch the source. We have a Bob, and I guess we're gonna write guidelines there, and the name is probably Bob. Yes, so we enumerated some stuff. Our directory has basic authentication. Well, probably gonna go back and check. Let me, out of the bat, just guess it's called protected. We can just go ahead and check it out, just, you know, like that. And it's going to do basic auth. This is normal basic auth. It's something that looks like that, pretty stupid. Okay. And I'm going to put that in right there, not there, but there. Submit the answer. And what is Bob's password to the protected site? Alright, so the hint is going to use Hydra, yes. And we're gonna go ahead and use Hydra. You know, this is hanging forever. We can just remove that. We can try and, you know, view the source. Gonna see nothing there, you know, and also gonna see nothing there either. So there's a slight chance that we're gonna go ahead and just brute force it. And we're gonna remember the command. I think just use Hydra and then basic auth. Write that in Google, and just take whatever that fits well. Scroll down and it talks about this and that, and at some point it kind of tells us to do something like this. So it says Hydra username, file, port if possible, and the IP address, F, crafting the tag and request method, and the path. We can try and do that. So filling in information, we already have that. So let's just take this, go to a text editor, just open a new tab. You know, always do that. It's easier for you to write, you know, your stuff. You have Bob, so we're gonna write Bob, and a big P to do a password list. We're gonna use the one called user share word lists, and then we're gonna do rocku.text. I think that's the right one, and port. Now we are on a standard port, so no reason to write anything, but we could just write 80. And the IP address is gonna be this one right there. I'm gonna copy paste that and replace it just there. And remove the HTTP part. There we go. And the request method is HTTP. I think that is the correct one. And the path is /protected. I think that should be working. We can just try it out, you know, just run our log. I think this is done. Clear screen, paste it in and see if it works. No, HTTP get was not the correct one. How does it? It's HTTP dash, not underscore. So it's an honest mistake. There we go. Boop. One more time, put it in, and now it's running. So this is basically the way it should be working right now. And if it doesn't work, you know, I'm really just trying to do it the way that you would do it in a discovery mode. I'm just doing it a bit faster. We got the password. The password is bubbles. So let's go ahead and just paste that in on TryHackMe. There we go. What other port is web server? It's 1234. So one we verified that worked. What is the name and the version for software running on the port from question 5? I'm gonna go back to the Nmap scan. It's gonna be this one right there. I don't know how much they want. Was it like just that? How much do you want to supply? Apache, Coyote. No, they want me to write it differently. So something like Tomcat, Apache. Oh, how do you want me to write it? I'm kind of confused now. So they did like. We have the answers, just the format we're gonna get right now. So was it like 6 Coyote and then that's it? Oh, I don't know. I just copy paste it wrong, I guess. Use Nikto with the credentials you found and scan the manager HTML directory. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do where was that? There we go. The manager. No manager. Manager HTML. Is that the one they meant? On 1234. Oh, sorry for that. I need to add on the 1234, I guess. And now that we have that established, it does talk about. So, can I just write Bob and bubbles? Oh yeah, I can. So now we have that. We have access to the Tomcat Apache Web Application Manager, which is where we could probably upload a reverse shell and get ourselves a shell in the box, you know. But let's see what they want me to do. How many documentation files did need to identify? Alright, so probably have to use Nikto with the credentials you found, and I have no idea how to do that with Nikto. It's been a long time. Nikto and then credentials. How are we gonna do that? So now try and just find it. You know, it's been a while since I used Nikto, so Nikto is a cell ID username. So okay, so something like, let's just get out of that, and nikto.h, and then we're gonna take the IP, which is that one. Where was it again? Did I just close it? I just closed it. Okay, so we're gonna do it one time. Nikto, and then we're gonna do -h, gonna do that. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be HTTP in front of it, and then it's gonna be Bob and bubbles like that. I think that would be the correct format as per the text we just checked out online, like that. I don't think we need this dash. Maybe, oh, the authentication part, so maybe we do need the dash ID. That would be perfect. Okay, so while this is running, I should probably go back to, you know, the questions and see what is the server version, you know, what kind of server. We need to output file for port 80. I think, didn't we get that by using the, this is the one they probably want me to do, but I think it's also on the Nmap scan. Anyways, we're gonna take this. We're gonna take this. And that is correct. So what version of Apache Security is running on the server? Well, we don't know. Did I accidentally close my, I did accidentally close my Nmap scan, which is pretty bad. So, okay, this is gonna take its time, it would seem. So I think, just in all honesty, since I accidentally closed my Nmap scan window, we can just do another one. So let's do Nmap. Isn't that the one I just, yeah, I think that's the one really. So just take it and run it one more time. This is probably going to take a while, I assume. So let me just read right now what we have. We have the same information, nothing crazy going on. And it's going to be 1.1 already there. So I think this is pretty basic. They don't think that I can use Nmap, maybe. Use Metasploit to exploit the service and get a shell on the system. And I think in this particular case, we still need that answer, by the way. So let's see if we can get it. Can we get it from the never-ending scan of scanness? It's gonna take its time, a really long time. Maybe I should just pause the video while this is running, because I really don't wanna. I wanna answer these in the correct order. So let's leave this running for a bit. All right, it took its time, you know. Kind of waited forever, I feel like. So I'm not gonna run this again. It's gonna be an enormous amount of time, you know. It did say successfully authenticated and stuff like that. We didn't really get the, I think kind of timed out at some point. I could probably just run it one more time and see if I got the answer, but you know, I think, to be fair, I'm gonna go ahead and try and guess the amount. 2, no, 3, no, 4, 5, great. Okay, so at some point, you know, Nikto is gonna identify the amount of, you know, configuration files, and it's gonna show somewhere, you know, I just didn't have the patience right now to run it one more time. So you're gonna trust the process. I don't right now, so let's just skip it. Now we're gonna use Metasploit, I know that, so let's go ahead and run the MSF console. Oh. A small fly. So we're gonna go ahead and run the MSF console, and with that, let's close the other windows for now. We're gonna try and search ourselves for an exploit. So what they kind of say here is use Metasploit to get a service and get a shell from the service and get a shell in the system. What did the user? What use did you get a shell as? You know, I kind of guess it's gonna be root because 4 letters, but let's just, you know, discover this. The thing is, we have authenticated access to this manager. We could go ahead and create our own file, create a reverse shell, upload it, get it, and stuff like that. But we can also just let Metasploit do it for us. Now, Metasploit is this big framework that can, you know, do pen testing for us because it's basically written with a lot of scripts to do that and do actual exploit execution. Alright, so the manual way would be to create a jar file or a WAR file, web archive, a Java archive file, and with that, you know, upload it manually, and then basically, you know, exploit all of it. And that would be done by doing select var file, this is a particular case, browse the file, deploy, click the button, and then browse to the website of this particular IP address and that port, and that should actually work, and then boom. But let's go ahead and do it the way that they want to do. So let's go ahead and search for it's a Tomcat, right? Can I not write search? Tomcat. And you're gonna see different kind of, you know, Tomcat gather credentials. Not gonna be the one we need. Ghost cat, something like mgr deploy and mgr upload, and we can also do something like DOS. That's not what we want. Ghost cat, no. What we want to do is what I just talked about, something like upload. So it's going to be exploit multi HTTP Tomcat uploads. Excellent Apache. I think I saw a few more here. So login administration. Nope. So we already have that. We don't need to bypass anything because we have credentials. The one we're going to use, to my experience right now, is going to be the one. This is weird. I cannot see what's going on. Let's just make this really small. Just clear one more time and just do Tomcat so I can see it. There we go. It's going to be number 7. Okay, sorry for that. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Right, use 7. That's the way we're going to use. We're going to use the upload one, use 7, and now Metasploit is configuring everything for us. So now we basically just going to, you know, show options, and the options we're going to get here is to input the HTTP password and the HTTP username. So basically, say like set, and then it's going to be bop, and set the HTTP username to bubbles, B-U-B-B, bop, whatever, yes. And it's gonna set the R hosts to the one we have right here. So it's gonna copy paste the IP address, so copy paste, take it like that, put it in, and is there anything? It is called manager. This is, by the way, a thing we need to fill out, and the remote port is not 80, so I'm gonna set one more time, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should actually do it. So type exploit. Nope. And we can also type run, by the way, and it doesn't work. So we did something wrong. Let me just clear the screen and try show options. And bob and bubbles, bubbles. Did I write that correctly? Let me just close it. Great. So let's just verify that everything is in order. Bubbles, go to the web page, and can I log out of this in some way? Where can I do that? It's impossible to log out of this place. Great, so it's called manager, and let me just put F12 then, zoom in and do storage, and then we have it. Let's delete it, update. That's gonna do nothing for us. It keeps me logged in. That's very interesting. What if I just replace this value with something different? Can I then... Nope, it's a persistent login. We cannot log out. Great, okay, so let me just look one more time and pause the video just while I fix the error. Yeah, I just took a casual look and I just verified that I actually reversed the two things. I'm sorry for that. So I made no errors. I was completely correct all the time. Now we're gonna do exploit, and boom, we have it. This is what I was expecting to see. Metasploit unfolding its evil upon the server. We're gonna get a reverse shell. You know, just talking into this, you know, sometimes when you're tired and do an evening room, you just reverse stuff. Nothing to fix, just me. Now, exploit completed, but no session were created. That's kind of interesting. So let's try one more time to type run, and going to type exploit. It will be the same thing. We should actually get one session opened. It should say something like that, but no session was created. That's very interesting. I'm not really sure why that is, to be fairly square and honest. Let's just do the clear screen and type show options one more time. And the password, let me just see my notes. I did write it over there. Bubbles, yes, Bob. And I did put in the correct IP address, didn't I? 10.10.80.29, yes. SSL's false, port 1234, it's also correct. Manager, and there we go. Okay, so whenever we have these kind of weird errors, you know, sometimes try and reset the L port to something different, like 5000 for example. And also, this IP address is not the correct IP address. It is actually my local host, but I would probably prefer to put in the IP address of my OpenVPN. That would be the one that TryHackMe knew, so that's gonna be that one right there. So we can also verify that by going to TryHackMe at the top of the page at 10.14.34.181. So set lhost, just like that, and then one more time type run. Now usually these kind of things work, and it worked. So sometimes, and that is the error, I wasn't paying attention to the IP address was my local one. I don't know why it is, but you know, you just need to fix it, and this is how it is. Now that we have a Meterpreter session, you can go ahead and do ls, and you can go ahead and type stuff like shell, for example. You're going to get a shell, a standard shell, ls id. Now you are root. Go to tab root, ls cat, and then flat.txt. Take it out. Answer the last two questions, root, and there's the flag. Submit and submit, and boom, root with 3 O's. Great. Okay, so that was this room. You know, it was a small room. I'm gonna terminate the server just to make TryHackMe happy. It was kind of fun to do it again. I remember. It's easy to forget sometimes when you do these kind of, you know, pentest stuff things, that, you know, when you have your Metasploit open like this and you typing show options and you view your options and you just kind of go with the thing. This is also the force and the weakness of Metasploit. It can be really great, but how would you know it would be the one? You know, how did I know that? Well, Tomcat manager upload. This is kind of the module that uploads a file to Tomcat. You can also go ahead and research that and go something like Metasploit, Tomcat, upload file, credentials, something like that, you know. And then at some point in time, when you researched enough, you might have something. So maybe you can go ahead and check out how to hack Apache malicious WAR file upload, you know, by just click the link. It sounds interesting, so why not just read about it? And then you're gonna read all this kind of text right here, and whenever they start up Metasploit, you're gonna search Tomcat, and it kind of says this login thing. So it's gonna be something brute forcing, I guess. Password file. Yeah, it's gonna be something brute forcing. Default passwords. After that, it does go to the same one we used here. So it kind of takes it one step even more. So it's gonna brute force the passwords, and then gonna brute force the actual upload. You can do everything in Metasploit for these kind of standard services, but doing an actual pen testing just using Metasploit will not really be possible, even though they can use the workbench in Metasploit and save your ports and the IP address and use the what are you gonna call it, the version of Nmap inside Metasploit. It's going to be pretty fine, but I'm not really a fan of Metasploit. It's fun, it's okay, it's just a lot of things. When you're hacking Windows, it's going to be more interesting, I guess. This is something I'm also going to open up for at some point, to do more Windows hacking, but I just feel that Windows is a bit boring, and to my knowledge, I kind of like Linux more. It is a preference, I guess. So, alright, so I guess that's it for this video. ToolsRus, practice using tools such as, and then the mentioned, right? So, alright, so please go ahead and check out my clothes. I sell some clothes online, and URL below. You can buy some t-shirt, or a bag or a cap, whatever you're gonna need, a sweatshirt with some logo on and some text. I'm working on more stuff for now, but it's gonna be the things that you will see. It is one way for you to support me directly. Also, if you want to support me even more, go ahead and just subscribe to my channel and check out some other videos. That's gonna be more than enough. Be really happy if you just learned something. And I want to say thank you for getting this far in this video. Have a really nice day, and see you again online in another great hacking evening.